Hi guys, in this week's vlog I'll pick up from where I finished in last week's vlog where I rode Lara, and then I'll pick up again when I took her out on Saturday, and that'll be a little bit later. Hi guys, voiceover here. So I could tell almost immediately Lara was walking out much more freely. Also visibly her fetlocks were just, nice and skinny, as in no swelling whatsoever. day. I think I'm going to explain in the voiceover the difference between how she felt this morning coming out and last Wednesday coming out. I'm sure I'll give a full explanation there. So nice to get days like this in autumn, end of autumn. Can you see the leaves blowing in the wind? It's strong winds today, by the way, 40 kilometers an hour. Coast, not on the beach, not ready for that yet. Just a walk up to the coastline and back. So it's 2 miles up and back. That'll be a good 4-mile hike, walk and trot. Basically, somewhere away from here. Rehabbing my horse, and I don't class this as rehab, I would just put them in the box and just do it somewhere else, not do everything from home. Same thing again, I didn't realise that lady was waiting. Is the GoPro able to pick up the canal? It is right next to me. Okay, Lara just saw something that scared her and she just turned around. And now this car's coming, that's not helping. I need to get her past that. Okay, I'll have to wait here. I had her on the buckle, I didn't even have... Oh, she went now. She's going to have to... Something scared her. She hasn't been there for ages, I'll have to get off. It's not you, something else. Come on. Thank you. Oh, I might have to get off. Thank you. Bloody hell, Lara's making this hard work. But I want to say she's trotting really nicely, trotting uphill. So this is quite a hill and the GoPro won't pick it up. It's not quite a hill, it's a moderate hill. I think, do you know what I think? I've put this new strap on and for some reason I don't know why, I feel like it's affected the stabilization of the GoPro, and I asked somebody to check it and they said it's on, so I put it on boost. And then I took the phone out because these jods that I've got don't have a phone pocket, and so I stick it in the jacket and that makes your chest come out. So I've taken the phone out of there, but it just seems to be banging more. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I should tighten the straps. Look, she's on the back foot and she's looking at stuff. I have to focus on my balance. That's what I've been doing while you've been off, Lara. Focusing on balance. Loads of exercises at the gym or at home if you've got a mat and a Swiss ball. Hope this doesn't make anybody laugh, but I used to do martial arts many years ago. Look it up online if you get the chance. It was called Salat. No, it's not like monkeys flying through the air, but actually the instructors were like monkeys flying through the air. But basically it's exercises, and it's not to do with weight training or cardio, being on the bike. It's to do with animal movement. So all the training we did, so you had to have these fantastic mats on the floor, otherwise it's too painful, you can't do it. But the exercises were all based on animal movements, and we had every single age under the sun in those classes, and I did it for years and years. I did it like 4 times a week, and I think it stays with you forever. And it's based on animal movements, like not just monkey. To move like a monkey, you'd have to be like at a really advanced stage. You know, there were people there, they had every type of ailment. And then you had people, you know, that didn't have so many, but, you know, things like crocodile movements, very good. And it's, you know what, it's not Pilates, it's not yoga. It was an actual martial art called Salat, and to this day I practice it. I'm not nearly as good as I used to be, but it will always stay with me, and I'm not joking. It blooming well helps you in any kind of sport that you do. That sport could be horseback, you know, it could be football. And the whole principle behind Salat is, you know, all these weight training exercises, up, down, up, down. Our bodies are not straight lines. Our bodies move in every single direction. And the other principle behind Salat is, you know, the whole idea was, it was in London, and, you know, a woman, for example, gets attacked on a dark night. You know, learning to do Kung Fu is not going to save you. So the principle behind Salat was, make your weakness your greatest strength, yeah? So if you're this very slight built woman, slim, use that as your greatest strength so that you wriggle away from your attacker. If you're this great big tall hulking person with heavy, you know, a heavy body, we're going to turn here anyway, with a heavy body, you know, you're not going to be flexible and fast. But when you use that as your greatest strength, yeah, it's brilliant. I used to love that. I used to get too into it and too intense, and I used to do the classes often just before I'd go to see Connie. Connie was the horse I had before Bo, so we're talking now a good 17 years back. Yeah. North London. You know, the fact that I'm talking about something else, Lara, it feels so amazing compared to our first ride back, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that her legs were swollen from stacking up and mild mud fever, so I can really feel the difference, and in her attitude as well. When her legs swell up from mud fever or stacking up from being in, obviously I need to lower the protein in her feeds, but that's when she feels like a warm blood. And then when the swelling's all gone, she goes back to feeling like a thoroughbred again. So much as I talk about warm blood paces, I love my thoroughbred. Thank you. There he is. Come on. quick update on Lara, because some of you might be wondering, oh, why didn't she mention it on the Sunny Saturday hack? Because I didn't mention it at all. So basically, for 21 days, Lara has had a bandage wrapped around her pastern, and for the first 6 days, she was kept in, 6 nights, sorry. And after that, for 21 days, she's been poulticed. And last night was the first night that she went out without a bandage whatsoever, and I was actually able to put an overreach boot on. Not because it was puffed up, no infection ever developed, but I didn't want anything touching it other than the poultice. And she's coming along very well with the help of my farrier. So I just thought I'd put that in there. And in case anyone's ever wondered if they've ever seen her tied up really short, it's because she lifts her hind leg right up to her muzzle and can get trapped in there unless I'm watching her all the time. But just wanted to put that in, that last night was the first time she went out without a bandage, just a bunch of purple spray and a massive dollop of pseudocrim smeared all over her. Really pleased.
They created a channel called Rod the Maritimer and started...
Yes, guys, that's what Tammy does. She sits out in the pouring rain. I am not joking, pouring, gets absolutely soaked like a bucket of water, then comes and sits next to me, and before you know it, you are sitting next to a big, huge puddle of rain. And she thinks it's completely normal. Anyway, guys, till next time, bye.
So, scams or impersonations.